crack through your shell somewhere on the Indonesian islands, pulling your legs free from the last pieces of egg with several siblings breaking out around you in the same sandy hollow. There's no parent waiting. There's nothing here to protect you, so the only option is to move fast. The problem is that the adults can smell you. A full-grown Komodo is already crossing the open ground toward the nest, with its tongue flickering in and out as it tracks the movement. You run for the nearest tree, digging your claws into the bark and pulling yourself up before it reaches the base. Your siblings scatter in different directions, some making it to the trees, some not. You don't look back. Up in the branches, you stop moving and press yourself flat against the bark. The adult circles below for a while, then loses interest and walks away. So you start moving along the branch, away from the nest and deeper into the tree, because staying still in one place makes you easy to find. That's when you spot a gecko sitting on the branch ahead, small and completely still. You're hungry and you need to eat, so you move toward it slowly with your legs pushing you forward one at a time. But a sibling drops down from the branch above and lands right between you and the gecko, grabbing it before you can reach it. You lunge forward and clamp onto the gecko's tail, pulling back hard until your sibling lets go and the whole thing is yours. That's your first meal. You swallow it and press your body back against the bark. Below, the ground looks open and exposed. Up here, you're harder to reach. But you're small, the trees have their own dangers, and you won't be able to stay up here forever. You're 6 months old now, and the trees are still home. You've learned which branches hold your weight and which ones don't. And you spend most of your time working your way along the higher ones, where the bigger animals below can't reach you. Your body has grown since you hatched, but you're still small enough that almost anything on the ground can kill you, so you stay up. You spot a large insect on a branch ahead, and you need to eat, so you start moving toward it slowly with your claws gripping the bark one step at a time. But the branch gets thinner the further out you go, and your weight starts pulling it down so that the far end dips toward the ground. The insect drops off and disappears into the leaves below, so you've lost the meal. Then the branch swings back up fast, throwing your grip loose and sending you falling straight down. You hit the back of a large monitor lizard standing below with your claws digging into its scales as you land. It thrashes hard, swinging its body from side to side, trying to throw you off, with its legs kicking up dirt as it spins. You hold on for a moment, then let go and sprint for the nearest tree, getting your claws into the bark and pulling yourself up before it can turn around and reach you. From up in the branches, you watch it below with its head turning side to side, trying to find you. That's the first time you've been that close to one of the big ground animals, and it showed you exactly how much stronger they are. You outran it this time, but only because you got to the tree fast enough. The ground has more food than the trees. At some point, you're going to have to come down and compete for it. Skip forward, and you're 2 years old now. Your body has grown long enough that the branches can't hold you the way they used to. So you come down to the ground for the first time and stay there. The trees are behind you. This is where the real food is. You find a dead deer lying in the open, with flies already covering the body, and you start tearing into it with your teeth pulling strips of meat free. It's the biggest meal you've ever had access to, so you eat fast and keep your head down. Then a shadow crosses the ground next to you, and you look up to find a full-grown Komodo standing a few body lengths away, with its tongue going in and out as it walks straight toward the carcass. It's 4 times your size, and it's not stopping, so you back away from the deer and give it the space it wants. The adult drops its head and starts eating from the middle of the carcass, taking up most of it with its body. You circle around to the far side, staying low and moving slowly so you don't draw its attention, and you wait. After a while, the adult lifts its head and turns toward the far end of the deer. So you move in fast along the edge, grab a large piece of meat with your teeth, and pull back before it can turn around. You get away with it and carry it a short distance before sitting down to eat. That's your first real lesson on the ground. You're too small to hold a meal against an adult, but you're fast enough to take what they leave behind. Patience gets you fed when size doesn't. You'll keep using that strategy for now, but your body is still growing, and soon you'll be large enough to hold a carcass on your own. You're 4 years old now, and big enough to try hunting on your own for the first time. You've been scavenging long enough to know what a deer looks like and how it moves. So you pick a trail along the tree line where they cross regularly, and you get low to the ground and wait with your body pressed flat against the dirt. A deer walks into the open, moving slowly with its head dropping down to graze every few steps. You need to close the gap before it spots you, so you start crawling forward with your legs pushing you across the ground one at a time, keeping your body low and your movements slow. But the deer lifts its head and spots you before you're close enough, so it kicks off the ground hard and sprints away through the trees. You run after it, but it's faster than you over open ground, so you break off the chase after a short distance. What you did manage to do before it got away was land one bite on its back leg as it turned to run. That's the part that matters. A Komodo's mouth carries bacteria and venom that gets into the wound and starts breaking the animal down from the inside, making it weaker the further it runs. So you follow the trail it left, moving at a steady pace with your tongue going in and out, tracking the direction it went. 2 days later, you find it lying on its side in the grass, too weak to stand. You walk up to it and start eating with no chase needed and no competition to fight off. That's the first time you've taken an animal down on your own. You didn't need to be faster. You just needed to be patient enough to let the bite do the work. Other Komodos will start picking up on your kills soon, and not all of them will wait for an invitation. invitation. You're 7 years old now, and you've built up a stretch of ground along the coast that you feed and rest on regularly. Today, another male walks into it with his tongue going in and out as he moves across your ground without slowing down. He's close to your size, and he keeps walking forward, so you move toward him and plant yourself in his path. The two of you rear up onto your back legs and lock your front legs together with your bodies pushing straight up off the ground. That's how Komodo males fight, standing upright and using their full body weight to try and push the other one down. You push hard into him with your legs driving into the dirt, trying to hold your position, but he's slightly heavier than you and every push forces you back a small step. You twist to the side trying to break his grip, but he adjusts with you and shoves forward so your back legs slide out and your body hits the ground hard. He stands over you for a moment, then steps back. That's the end of it. The fight is over and the ground is his now, so you get up and walk away from the coast and into the trees further inland, where the food is harder to find and other Komodos rarely come. You spend the next few weeks covering a wider area than before, moving further each day just to find enough to eat. It's harder out here, but you're eating enough to keep growing, and your body is still getting bigger and heavier with every month that passes. Losing that ground pushed you somewhere less comfortable, but you're larger now than you've ever been, and the next male who walks into your territory will find that out quickly. You're 10 years old now and fully grown. Your body is as long as a full-grown man is tall, and every Komodo in your territory gives you space when you walk through it. Today, you have a target. A water buffalo has been moving along the beach for the past 2 days, and you've been following it with your tongue going in and out, tracking the direction it went each time it moved. You close the gap along the tree line and get low to the ground, then rush forward and bite down hard onto the buffalo's back leg before it can pull away. It kicks hard with its other leg and the blow catches your side, knocking you back several steps. But you already landed the bite, so you don't need to go back in. You walk back into the tree line and wait. 3 days pass. You track the buffalo each day with your body covering the ground in a slow, straight line, closing the distance a little more each time. On the 3rd day, it stops moving forward and drops onto its side on the beach. The venom from your bite has worked through its body, making its legs stop holding its weight. That's your moment, so you walk up and start feeding. Then 2 other Komodos appear from the tree line with their tongues going as they walk straight toward the carcass. You lift your head and pull yourself up to full height, planting your legs wide so your body takes up as much space as possible over the buffalo. One of them stops and holds its ground, trying to wait you out, but you stay exactly where you are and keep eating, so after a while it moves to the far end and feeds from what's left there. You've learned to take the big animals down, but holding what you kill is just as important as making the kill itself. You're 15 years old now, and a female has been moving through your territory for the past 2 days. You need to keep her close, so you start following her with your tongue going in and out as you track where she moves, staying a short distance behind without rushing in. She walks along the tree line and you follow, matching her pace and keeping your body low. Then another male comes out from the trees ahead, with his body angled straight toward her. He's younger than you and lighter, but he keeps walking forward, so you move between him and the female and plant your legs wide with your full body facing him. He stops and pulls himself up onto his back legs, so you do the same, locking your front legs against his with both of you pushing your full weight into the other. You're heavier, and your legs drive him back across the dirt, so he drops back down and walks away into the trees. You turn back to the female and start circling around her with your body staying low and your steps slow and steady. She keeps walking forward, so you follow close behind her and match every turn she makes. After a while, she slows down and stops moving forward, so you move up alongside her and climb on top with your front legs planting behind her shoulders. It lasts a few seconds, then she walks forward and you step back. That's the first time you've mated. Somewhere on this island, eggs will go into the ground and develop on their own, with no guarding and no parent waiting at the nest. The hatchlings will have to do exactly what you did, get to the trees fast and figure the rest out from there. You've made it to the top of everything on this island, but the water along the coast has been changing, and something new has moved into the bay. You're 18 years old now, and the bay at the edge of your territory has become part of your regular route. You walk down to the water and wade in up to your chest, letting the current push against your legs while you stand there with your tongue going in and out across the surface. That's when the water moves wrong. A shape rises just below the surface, a short distance away, with its body long and low and barely breaking the top of the water as it closes the gap toward you. It's a saltwater crocodile, and it's already too close by the time you see it, so you turn to push back toward the bank. But the crocodile's jaws close around your back leg before your first step lands, with the full weight of its body pulling sideways and dragging you off your feet and under the surface. It rolls, one fast, full rotation that twists your body in a direction your spine can't follow, and that's the end of the fight before it starts. You don't come back up. The crocodile holds you under the water against the bank until your body goes still. then drags you further along the edge and up onto a flat stretch of mud. It tears into you steadily, working through your body from the middle outward, pulling strips of meat free with each pull of its head. By the next day, the bones are spread across the mud, and the water has carried most of the rest away downstream. A monitor lizard picks over what's left, turning pieces over with its snout before moving on. You spent 18 years at the top of this island, bigger than almost everything on it. The crocodile didn't know that. It just saw something standing in the water.